Hey guys, Nuie here. If you're new to my channel, I usually do a lot of Allied's online content. I love that game. But I've been getting into PoE, and this is going to be just a rundown of the builds that I kind of theorized lately. Um, Basically, I've named this build the Laura X23 build after Logan's daughter from Wolverine, or Logan, the movie, if you've seen that. Basically, this build is basically in that movie, she is a literal spawn of him with his claws and all his abilities, but she also has her own like acrobatic feel to her, and the fact that she has claws in her feet as well. So she's a little bit different. So when I thought about that, when I was making this build, and then I came up with a quad flicker strike build that also works with frenzy. So basically, I'm just showing my current path in my current setup. I'm only level 44, so I'm not like completely done with this build, but I will put a link to the full build in the description below. But yeah, basically I just wanted to play a build that was really fun and did good damage, had good clear speed, and was really cheap in budget, and also like I could just have tons of fun playing with because I originally made a couple shadows, and if you guys have been watching along through my original playthrough of this game, then you'll see that I started out with Shadow. I didn't really understand the game. I didn't really understand how the Shadow class worked, so I started developing a when I got through the game originally, ended up deleting my original Shadow character, not because like it wasn't fun to play, just because I realized there was so many faults with the build. I wanted to start over from scratch and just and redesign the character into a more comfortable playstyle for me, and one that would be hopefully able to get to endgame, because I was having difficulty even getting through Cruel on that build, even though I was able to beat Malachi and able to beat Azaro on normal mode. With those builds, I just felt like I wanted a little bit more. So this is my claw build. This is what I currently have. This is where my tree currently looks like. The reason I'm taking these charisma nodes, and I've looked up a lot of flicker strike builds. Most of them run off daggers, which I didn't want to do, and most of them run off of, and a lot of them also run off of like Slayer and two-handed that flicker strike builds, which again I didn't want to do because I felt like when I was looking through the trees, I felt like the easiest way to get frenzy charges early with claws was with claws, because claws can steal frenzy charges and stuff, and then I can get the life leech, and then if I tie life leech in with Valpact and Ghost Reaver, then I get the energy shield. So this build, when I finish it up, will be a CI build, but overall, like for now, just because when I'm leveling and stuff, I want to have some health, because I don't have all my energy shield stats yet, so I want to make sure that I get some health before I get the I want to make sure that I can get over here and grab some of my um energy shield stuff before I get into grabbing my chaos inoculation. Um, but basically, overall with this build, I'm running like I think close to 420 something physical damage off of it. I think I'm running 300 something crit. It's just gonna looking like a fun build for me to play. So I'm just gonna really hope to enjoy it and be able to fully look into it. If anyone has any thoughts or comments on the full build, again, I will be showing that. I'll also be showing that a little bit further into the video. I'll show off the full build. I'll be looking at that as well as everything. I'll also be looking at like, I'm not really sure what uniques I should run off of this, or what stats I should be running. I am currently running like stats like this with a lot of dexterity, some intelligence, and some strength. The reason I'm running the strength is because for even at this level I'm able to run Flicker Strike, though I would like to get into the normal mode trials so that I can make sure that my Flicker Strike doesn't cost mana. Because right now, because of this setup, and especially because of these reduced mana reserves, I'm able to run Herald of Ice, Herald of Ash, and Hatred all at the same time, and still have mana left over to be able to cast Frenzy, cast my Golem, and cast Flicker Strike. So I'm able to run this build right now while leveling, so I don't have to use like other skills to level with. I did run Blade Fury to level up to this point because I just didn't have access to all the abilities I wanted yet. But now that I'm at this point, I'm able to run this build. So what I'm running is I'm running a Ice Bite support for Frenzy Charges on Frozen. I'm running a multi-strike support for Flicker Strike, and I'm also running a melee physical damage support so that the damage from this... I only have a 4 socket right now, and I only have 3 sockets on the rest of my stuff. Nothing I have at this current level can run more than that, but it's really not a hindrance or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. And when it comes to single target, I'm just running melee damage on full life support, and then faster attacks, and then Flicker Strike, and then what I typically do when it comes to just bosses, I'll just switch Flicker Strike over for Frenzy. I'll just switch that like that, and then I'll just run it like that, and that way my Frenzy will get all of my will get all of these things, and will do all the damage it needs to, and then I just have Flicker Strike over here, and then I'll just switch him back when I go back to clearing like ads or things like that. So that's what I'm running overall for that. But the only other thing I really have for this build that like I feel is necessary, I should say, is that I'm running both a strength and dexterity and strength belts. I would like eventually to be able to get just a physical damage belt, but I don't have really any strength from my other stuff, and I kind of need strength for just my melee gems as well as my Herald of Ash, so I want to make sure that I have some strength for that, so that's what I'm going to be focused on. But this is basically my build. I'm also running a Flame Golem just for the 16% increased damage. I gave it life support, and my Herald of Ash is just over here because I couldn't get a red gem in anything, and I was trying to get it into my claws, but it wouldn't happen. I probably need a new claw at this point. I'm doing a decent claw right now. It's got 79% increased physical damage, so it's decent. It's also got good crit and some cold damage on top of it. It's also got good accuracy and some extra mana. I would like to be running evasion energy shield for the top of my hat, but I haven't found a good one yet, so I'm just waiting for that, and I'm running evasion energy shield and everything else, so that's where I'm getting all my stats from. I'm also running I'll be running deflection as well as precise interception, so I will definitely be able to look into that and get all of the extra bonuses from my shield. I'm also planning on running this energy shield on shield, so that'll get even more energy shield for my shield. So, but again, I'm gonna do that. I'll take that time now to hop into my next build, and I'll show the full build and everything that I plan on doing. But right now, again, I am running this at low levels. I'm only level 44, so I do still need the mana pot. Even though I only have 50 mana overall after I have all my buffs on, I basically just pop the mana pot and then I'm able to Flicker Strike to my heart's content, because I'm also running a Curse on Hit with Herald of Ice, which ties in Poacher's Mark, so that I get even more frenzy charges. And I also have Blood Rage though at this current level I can't advise using it because I don't have enough life leech yet, as of like right now, to be able to activate this, but I don't take enough damage because of my current stats and my current energy shield and stuff like that. I'm not taking enough damage where I need it, so, and you're still doing, because of just, multi-strike and stuff like that, you're still doing quite a bit of damage, and you're pretty much one-shotting stuff anyway, so it's not a big deal, especially at this level. I also have Fortify support and Melee Splash support. I was going to play around with them, but I needed another socket or something. Like, if I can get a 5 socket on my chest or something like that, then I'll be able to really test that out. But right now, I only have 3 socket and a 4 socket, so this is the best I'm able to do right now. But I'm going to hop into the rest of showing off my build, so I'll get over to the actual tree in a second. So jumping right into my my tree. First thing for bandits, I'm taking the first passive note. I thought about taking the additional resistances, but I've decided to just take the first passive point, and then I'm taking 16% physical damage from Cruel, and then I'll take the extra frenzy charge. Again, this is my 2.6 build. I'll probably change this build in 3.0, but this is my 2.6 current build, so this is what I'm end up running. As you can see, I'm keeping this, and after from looking at just my build, I'm expanding on it to get depth of perception. I want the increased accuracy rating, and I want the extra critical chance from that. And then I'm also coming up here and grabbing the spell damage and the extra crit over here. I'm also heading down here and I'm grabbing all this evasion and this extra critical chance. I'm not grabbing this ruby because I wanted to grab this extra critical chance, so I exchanged that for that. It's still pretty much the same. It's 45, so it's a little bit better almost. So I thought that was a better overall. I'm running aspect of links as well as weapon artistry, and I'm also running the extra shield damage down here. So this gives me over 140% increased defenses for my shield. So I'll get I'm typically going to be running an evasion energy shields, and as well as evasion energy shield just in general. So I'm getting another frenzy charge down here. This is the other downside to my overall build. I'm only really running one jewel socket. I don't really need a huge amount of jewel sockets with this build. Though I guess like there's a couple things that I could get with it. I just don't feel like it's very necessary to have a huge amount of jewel sockets in a build. Like some of my other builds, and I'll try to show those off later, run like 3 jewel sockets. But they're a little bit less spread out. They're more single target builds. Like they're just focused on one thing, or like life regeneration or just energy shield. They aren't running like multiple energy shield and evasion, so they're easier for me to grab multiple gem sockets just for extra stuff in them. Whereas this one is a little bit more spread out, so I wanted to make sure that I had everything I wanted. Yeah, I'm grabbing the deflection. I'm grabbing all the claw critical strike, all the claw damage, all the stuff, all the frenzy charges from claw. I'm also grabbing an extra frenzy charge here. I didn't get all the duration from frenzy charges for everything. This was mostly because Flicker Strike utilizes frenzy charges to be able to cast multiple times. So just having frenzy charges but not having them at maximum duration doesn't particularly affect me, I didn't feel like, because it's not based on the duration of it being up, it's based on the fact that it's there. And since I'm going to be consuming one, it's not a big deal to not have it. But then I grab my jewel socket here. I'm also grabbing power charges just for the increased crit. I'm also grabbing Ghost Reaver in duration with Veil Pact as well as Chaos Inoculation, so that all of my life leech is 1 transferred to my energy shield. And then 2, the life leech is instant, so it'll automatically go to my energy shield. And then Chaos Inoculation makes it so all I have is energy shield. I have 1 hit point, and then I have the instant life leech to my energy shield. I'm also running the energy shield off of that. I'm also running energy shield recharge. I grabbed this 1 dexterity node just because I had 1 ruby extra. And I felt like, actually, you know what? Looking at this right now, giving up some of the dexterity for the extra crit is probably better. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. So I'm gonna switch that around. But yeah, so I'm just gonna run that extra crit and get the. I'm still getting a bunch of energy shield, a bunch of evasion from dexterity and intelligence, and then I'm grabbing the claws of Falcon, so I get the extra crit from here as well as the extra damage from here. And then I'm coming over here and I'm grabbing the extra energy shield and all the energy shield regen, all the energy shield recharge, all this energy shield here, as well as extra energy shield and 1 more maximum power charge. So this is the kind of build I want to run for this. It's a mix between evasion and energy shield, and it's a mix between critical strike and just claw damage, outright physical damage. So this gives me hopping into my stats, it gives me 1006 energy shield just from base. It gives me 2500 evasion just from base. I get 30 fire resistance, 30 lightning resistance, 30 cold resistance, and 100% chaos resistance. So all I really have to do is just run a little bit of resistances off of gear, and then I'll be good for that. I'm also getting physical damage from my shield as well as attack damage. So I'm getting 190% increased critical strike chance, 180% increased critical strike chance overall. 65% to my critical strike multiplier, and 85 to my critical strike multiplier after changing that one dexterity node. I'm getting 140% defense, increased defense for my shield, 40% increased block recovery, 65% increased life leech per second, 154% increased evasion, 161% maximum energy shield, 100% increased energy shield recharge rate. So I hope with that I'll be able to, and even 35% faster. So I'm hoping with that I'll be able to not only deal with the energy shard not between the energy shard real shield, or between my energy shield recharge rate and my life leech applying to my energy shield, I feel like that's what's going to be able to sustain me up and keep me from dying, and then my evasion will stop me from getting hit by most things. Again, I'm getting the 128 physical damage overall just from tree, 50% from just physical damage, 170% increased physical damage with claws, and then 40% increased physical damage with attacks. So that's giving me a lot of my damage, and like I said, it's about 420 something extra damage. I wanted this build to be a little bit more defensive. I could have gone with a more offensive tree, reduce some of the energy shield I've gotten and gotten some extra damage from here, like by running Force Shaper and getting some extra damage from there. Or I even thought about coming down here and grabbing the extra evasion or extra cold damage or anything like that, or things like that. I also thought about running extra elemental damage, and I also thought about just coming over here and grabbing the extra frenzy charge, so I'd have even more frenzy charges and getting some more leech or something like that. But I ended up settling on this overall build because I felt like between the 150 bonus evasion, 150 bonus energy shield, and 140 defenses from just the shield in general, I feel like that was enough. I didn't need all the extra damage, since I'll be able to survive anyways, and I'll still end up doing damage. The only thing I really have as a downside is build that I don't get a lot of strength at my passive tree, and I don't have a huge amount of sockets. Those are the only two downsides I really have in this build. But I mean, again, I am still new to PoE. This is only my second shadow character, though I have made one of pretty much every class except for I haven't made a Marauder because I made a Templar and I figured it's basically the same class, so I just didn't make one of those. But this is just the first build that I'm really focused on and really trying to develop, and I hope people will be able to give me thoughts on this and what they think I should change, or anything they think would be better off overall, and even list me some uniques that would be like helpful. Again, I'll be dropping my link to this build below, so you guys will be able to check it out from there, and even send me different builds or send me different tweaks on this build and see what you should think. But this is my Laura X23 Claw Flicker Strike build, so I hope you guys like this, and I'm gonna catch you all later. Heaven sent my residence, it's heaven, just visiting, blending.